Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are putting the new Class 70 through its paces, seeing if it can do the job of the old Climax. So I have taken the time to load up this train. For those that haven't seen it, it is 16 cars of lumber, and it pretty much fills up the sawmill in one trip. So we are going to see if the Class 70 can do it. I can say as far as loading, it did the job a little better than the Climax, a little easier. It is pretty much at its absolute limit trying to back up with the 17 cars on it full, but it does do the job. Loading these cars, the one thing I would point out that I noticed is our old cars, the old rolling stock, used to actually see the impact of the logs on it, so it would sag the more you put on them. These new cars do not. So that's a little, I don't want to say sad to see, but it's that's kind of a lost feature of the old cars. These ones do not sag when you put more on them. So here we are all the way up to the front of the locomotive. This one is definitely a proper size train. Cannot see the end of it. Loading this one is not the funnest task. I've considered breaking this train up multiple times, but then it's like, if you run two half the size, how long does that take? And is it really worth messing around with? So I have not, I haven't messed with it. I keep it because I think the one and done is just too nice to not have. We are just going to kind of ease this one out of off the hill, I guess, if you will, just being that we just don't know how this one is going to react to the turns here with this much weight shoving behind it. First trip, I'm always pretty cautious on a first trip, so just what it is. We do have a slight incline up here, so we will see. We will see how it goes. Oh, this is in reverse. Full reverse, and it wasn't going to stop. Not with that many cars behind it. That's the thing. I mean, once you get these 17 cars moving, or 16 cars, sorry, excuse me, the weight of this much wood is just unreal. Obviously, I'm sure you can crunch the numbers and figure out what they are. But I just know it's a lot of weight. Plain and simple. Everything you run, you can hear it, you can feel it. Brakes become a whole different animal on trains when they get this weight. It's the brakes become the thing. I mean, here, even the Class 70 is working, and this is not... nothing here. I know we didn't even hit like 2% grades coming up this or nothing, so it's nothing is steep right there at all. It's just a slight uphill incline. Oh, Lord. We're never going to get it stopped. We're going to hit that. I totally forgot. Well, tell me we don't derail anything. There we go. A great train collision in 2020. Check that out. It reminds me of when the railroads came together. Oh, wow. Okay. So, we are going to have to... I totally forgot that thing is here. Yeah, usually this would not be parked out here. That's a problem. Well, this is all still part of, I guess, leftover from the update and trying to get back to business. Well, we picked everything up. We didn't park it in its proper place. So, you know, now it's coming back. Alright, so we can solve this problem pretty easy, though. Good news is our track is set up to function really for multiple trains at a time, so shouldn't be too hard to get this out of the way if I can get in the locomotive. Alright. Reverse, off with the brakes. That was unexpected. To say the least. Well, running a few trains today, I guess. It was our first load back since re-railing everything. So had a few more problems, I guess, to solve. I kind of just forgot about, but these really ain't that big a deal. I don't think moving this out of the way. We should just be able to pull it up off to the side here, I would think. We'll just side it over there for now. Being this one has to go back out to the logging camp, although I really think we will probably be replacing the this climax as well, just out of ease of functionality. Absolutely love this train. I think it's one of the coolest looking trains. This thing just looks like it wants to work, but the functionality of it is I think gotten the better of me anyway, to where I just find other trains easier to use. And because this one just blows, I mean, you watch, it'll just blow the wheels right off. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Now it's just going crazy, but at least it's not wheel spin. So maybe the wheel spin problem has been fixed with these now since the update. I don't know. And I'm replacing this train for absolutely nothing. Distinctly possibly, I don't know. I know before when you hit, you know, I got the video, no, there it goes. And the wheels are just spinning loose. And it'll sit here and do this all day. Until it comes to a stop, I would almost say. I mean, I don't think so, realistically, but I think it'll sit here doing a burnout all day, and I just don't have, you know, and then you throw on a bunch of brakes. And somewhere in there, usually, it won't even look at it. It'll stop with the wheels spinning. So the physics on this train are just not, you know, not right. Plain and simple. The climax is broken at the end of the day. I mean, you just saw it. It was doing a burnout, but you push the brakes and it'll stop. So, which doesn't make any sense at all. So, you know, fan of the climax, yes. Fan of the physics behind the climax, absolutely not. Something, and I've always said it since I got it, is that something's just broken in there, or a lot of, you know, it'd be a great train to run. It's got a lot of power, it's all kinds of stuff, but it's just, it's not right. Plain and simple. Not that one. I don't have any kind of problem, because again, I don't know the actual legitimate physics behind it, but I know that if it's spinning the tires and it comes to a stop hitting the brake, something ain't right. I mean, that's, so whatever, there you go. That's why the climax got replaced, and why I think that other one's gonna get replaced. Same reason, because I just don't, it's too much fiddling around for what you don't need. It hopefully one day they get in there and redo a few things on that one and make it work. which is weird because it's got great traction, like going uphill in weird places and stuff. As long as you don't have the tires spinning, it's got great tractive effort and stuff. I mean, I've taken it up track that I didn't think there was any chance I could get a locomotive up, and yet that one will walk right up to stuff. So the tractive effort and traction is great. It just somehow can't handle its own power, and the engine overdoes itself. Unfortunately. Okay. Now this one, before we go bringing it in anywhere, let's make sure that switch is good. We have one more switch out here. That switch is good, as we may overrun. This train is long. That's good. That's good. That means we are good. This train just seems to never, like, come to a stop. Doesn't really matter what you do. You get this much weight moving, and I can only imagine, you know, which, sure, I guess the math isn't that hard to do. You turn around and figure out what one of these cars weighs, but once you times it by, you know, 16, it's a lot. That's for sure. And no matter what locomotive we've used, you can feel it. These wood cars are heavy. I know you get them early in the game, so you're like, oh, they're probably not. They're heavy. I mean, there's some of the heavier cars in the game, I think. Which makes sense. I mean, they are just straight raw lumber. Okay. Alright, we'll set some brake. And hopefully this is right about perfect rolling speed. Looks pretty good. And then we can just dump them. If everything... Oh, come on. If everything works out, they will just dump all one nice swoop right here. This is how we plan it. Of course, now the brake's catching up with it. Too much. Whoa. Close. Get out of here. Yeah, now we got too much brake and we gotta get it moving again. Ooh. Well, that dev speed is nice. Keep rolling. Nice and slow like. Yeah, it's a little bit of a slower process, but it sure beats getting out, pulling it forward, stopping, pulling it forward, stopping, pulling it forward. You know how that goes. So, oh, now she's picking up a little speed, hitting the downhill, I think. Good news, you can't really go anywhere out there as long as we have the switches lined right. It's just gonna take itself off to the right, and eventually it'll start grabbing a bit of an uphill, so it won't go anywhere too crazy. So, what? Ooh, she's starting to pick up some speed. As long as it's going slow enough to drop all 5 on the platform, that's all I'm worried about. This one is going about textbook. And that'll fill up our pond, all except for what gets all except for what got picked up right away by the logging camp, or the sawmill, sorry. And that about does that. And we will come running up here, slam on the brakes. Should be out of the way now. There we go. Nope, not quite long enough. Far enough. One car we cut off. Pull it forward, we have that long enough so we can get that over there and off to the side, out of the way. But there we are, the Pine Valley Lumber Company pretty much full up again and ready for log export. So we'll call that one a success and we'll call it an episode. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.